Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I'm always on the hunt for great cards. Today is Anything Can Happen Day, and we are going back to finish out a box of a product that I started on an Anything Can Happen Day probably like 3 months ago at this point. It's been a little while, but it's an awesome product, and I was really excited to open this box. I've been thinking about it for a long time. It's a beautiful product that has a really vintagey feel to it. It's just... I don't know. I really enjoy this. It was from 2001, and I believe Upper Deck only did this the 1 year. Upper Deck Decade 1970s Baseball. I don't think that they did this particular product again after this, though I wish that they had, because it's a really cool product. We opened half of this box, and so today we will open the other half. And you can see I kept the cards in here that we opened, and now we will get to the rest of these packs. So really beautiful cards, a lot of neat inserts that we pulled out of here. I'm going to put the box off to the side there. Here are our packs. You can see on the front of the box that we will get a Decade Game Bat card out of this box. We have not hit that card yet, so it should be in one of these packages here. If it's in one of these, I am not having an easy time being able to tell what pack it's in. I don't know, so I'm just going to shuffle these up and see where it could be in the first pack here. Who knows? But we are looking for that Relic card that we were promised. You can also get autograph cards out of here. It says autographed jersey cards are possible, so that is also in play. So let's see how we do today. If you remember, the first half of this product is a lot of Hall of Famers and fan favorites throughout this product, and it's a really good time. There's a little bit of stickiness, but no ink loss. They're just really glossy cards, as you can see there. We start off with Darrell Evans, really good player for the Braves for quite a while. I'll show you the back of these to refresh your memory. Mike Hargrove here, who went on to become a manager in the major leagues, and a pretty good one. Here we've got Rupert Jones. This is a Decade Dateline insert back to when Rupert Jones was the Mariners' first pick in franchise history in the draft. Rupert Jones, a real star in college, didn't quite do as well as people thought he might in the majors. Then we got a rookie 1970s flashback, beautiful card of a young Dale Murphy there. He is a great TTMer, so that is a sweet looking card. And as I said for the first half of this rip, if there's something that I am not putting in the wolf lair that you see just kind of out with the rest of the cards and you would really love to add to your collection, just ask me about it. There's one I will certainly be keeping there. Wow, that is an awesome pull for my PC. Brooks Robinson, World Series highlights card from 1970. That is awesome. That was the year that he won the World Series MVP, and very deservingly so. Fantastic performance by Brooks, and just a wonderful card for my PC. That is not one that I have, so that is definitely going into the wolf lair. That's a great first pack pull for me, no question about it. Really like this product. As I said, it's a little bit hard to find, and when you do find it, these boxes are not cheap. That is for sure. We got the newly elected Hall of Famer, Dave Parker. That's a pretty sweet card there. I like that one quite a lot. I'm going to wolf lair that one. And then we got Billy Williams, the Cubs great. I have many Cubs fans who watch the channel, so I suspect that is one that people will ask for, or that I will at least send out to someone if nobody does ask for it. That's a sweet looking card. And Chris Chambliss there, back when he was with Cleveland. Of course, I think he was best known, he was a Rookie of the Year for Cleveland, but I think he's best known for his home run in the playoffs for the Yankees in '76. But pretty cool card there. And you can see what I mean by these inserts. There's quite a lot of them. There's a second Billy Williams card. This one, a Decade Dateline insert. Pretty sweet card. We got one of those in each pack so far. And there's another great Oriole for me. Wow. The last cards in both of these first two packs have been wonderful Orioles cards. Boog Powell there. Decade Dynasties. And that's also from the 1970 World Championship season for the Orioles, who I collect. That is a really sweet card. That's certainly a wolf lair card for me as well. Great packs so far in these, and I am hoping for a really nice Hall of Fame relic to come out of here. Could be a relic, could just be a fan favorite player who has that relic, or it could be a Hall of Famer. We'll see how that goes. Really interesting set. We got Jim Perry here. Of course, Gaylord Perry's brother, Jim and Gaylord Perry, the winningest brother combination in Major League history. Pretty neat to see that. Raleigh Fingers, the Hall of Famer there. Pretty nice card of him. And then we got a rookie flashback card here for Freddie Lynn, the great outfielder for the Red Sox, and then went over and played for several other teams, including the Orioles and the Angels, as I recall. Fred Lynn, really a player I thought would end up in the Hall of Fame. His career didn't quite go as well as people thought, but he was still quite a star. Mike Hargrove there, and this is another award winner's insert, and I mean, this looks exactly like Topps 1974 cards. That is the, I don't know how Upper Deck got away with that. That is the exact template for those, so pretty neat to see that. And another Chris Chandler. So we're getting an interesting selection of same players on different types of cards here. I'm not quite sure about the assortment for this. I did shuffle these packs up, but I didn't shuffle them that much. I just kind of switched them around a little bit, so I don't know. Tug McGraw here for the Phillies, and he looks pretty pleased. I'm not quite sure why they used a black and white photo of him. It's not like Tug McGraw pitched in the 1920s or something. Came up with the Mets in the 60s and then went on to, I believe he pitched in the World Series for the Phillies, if I'm not mistaken. Bill Madlock, another guy I thought might make the Hall of Fame. There he is with the Cubs. He probably had his best years with Pittsburgh in the late 70s. He was a batting champion for the National League, I think a couple, maybe 3 years. Bill Madlock was quite a good hitter back in those days. Jason Thompson there, good hitter for the Tigers, mostly played first base and DH for them. And here we got another rookie flashback. This is Eckersley when he came up with the Indians, looking really young there. Think of him with his mustache thrown for the A's in the 80s and 90s. Put that there, and we get a nice award winners card of Andre Dawson. Get the Hawk there. He was the 1977 National League Rookie of the Year and a great Hall of Famer. Played for the Expos for a while and the Cubs and several other teams toward the end of his career. So you can see why I like these cards. I just really, the designs are great, and I really like the just the players. It takes me back. The 70s were a great decade for baseball, and I really enjoy looking at 1970s cards and 1970s players. Catfish Hunter here, when he was with the Oakland A's, of course, he went over to the Yankees and went to the World Series with them. Catfish Hunter, kind of an ace back in the 70s and a Hall of Famer, though some people kind of question whether he should be in the Hall of Fame or not. Interesting picture of him. His gloves kind of obscuring his face there. I'm not sure why they chose that one. Here we've got Griffey Sr., part of the Big Red Machine in the 70s. Griffey Sr. and decade dateline of Lou Brock, who collected his 3,000th hit in the late 70s. Lou Brock and Yaz got their 3,000th hits, I think in the same year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it may have been 79, I believe. They both got their 3,000s. Had kind of a magical year for baseball. Tom Seaver there, definitely one of the aces of the 1970s. I think the top, for my money, the top two pitchers of the 1970s were probably Tom Seaver and Jim Palmer. I know a lot of people are like, what about Nolan Ryan? But, you know, you look at all the 20-game seasons Jim Palmer had in the 1970s. It's hard to top that. And Tom Seaver was just dominant for the Mets and the Reds. Both really great pitchers. 1970s Superpowers. That's a pretty cool glossy card there of Willie McCovey. That's a neat card. I do like that. Put that in its own section over here. We haven't got many glossy cards. The Boog Powell was the only one up until that point. Go to our next pack, and I think with this pack we're about halfway through this rip, and we still have not hit our Relic card. It should be in one of these packs. Hopefully we will find one in this box. We got Robin Yount starting this one off. That is a beauty. Got a lot of Brewers fans who watch Channel 2, so I know that's one that people will want to have mailed to them. We got Rico Petrocelli there, looking the way every player should on a baseball card. Just delighted to be out there playing the game of baseball. Love to see that. Another Raleigh Fingers card here for the 1974 World Series sort of flashback highlight thing that they're doing. Like to see that one. And behind him we've got an award winners card of Johnny Bench. That's a nice looking card there. I like that one. He was the 1972 MVP. Pretty cool to see that one. And then what do we have here? Another foil card. This one of Catfish Hunter as well. And that is an arms race card. Very interesting to see that. Catfish Hunter arms race. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because he has such a great pitcher, such a great arm. And he did win the Cy Young Award, I believe. I think it was 74, if I'm remembering. I think that was the 1 year that Jim Palmer didn't get 20 games, if I'm remembering how this works. He won 5. Jim Palmer, this is the remarkable thing about Jim Palmer when people talk about, oh, should Palmer be in the Hall of Fame? He didn't win 300 games, whatever. Jim Palmer had 5 seasons in a row where he won 20 games or more. Then he took a season where he didn't, and then he got 5 more seasons in a row where he won 20 games or more, which is, I'm telling you, something that will never, ever happen in the major leagues again. Nobody will ever duplicate that. It is a record that will stand, and it is an accomplishment that certainly merits being in the Hall of Fame, no question about it. Harmon Killebrew there, the killer for the Twins. I like that card a lot. Really like the color on that card, and it's a neat image of Harmon Killebrew, young Harmon Killebrew. I'm going to wolf layer that one. I like it. Campy Campaneris, shortstop for the Findlay A's when they went to the World Series several times. I think Bert Campaneris may have been a World Series MVP. It was really kind of he had a lot of spirit and a guy who just loved to play baseball, could get his team charged up. There's another Billy Williams. Wow, we are getting a lot of Billy Williams cards today. I'm not sure what's up with that. Billy Williams decade dateline, and there is a Stargell card, award winner. He was the co-MVP in 1979 for the National League. Of course, the Pirates went to the World Series and won it that year over my Orioles, which I resent them for, quite frankly. Joe Torre there, in 1971 National League MVP, and I know for a fact that one of you does collect Joe Torre cards, so I suspect that one will go out to one of you. See what's in this next pack. Still looking for our relic or maybe an autograph card. That would be pretty awesome to get that. And see what we get out of here. We get a John Matlock card, another ace for the Mets in part of the 70s at least. John Matlock was definitely a guy people thought was going to be a really great pitcher, and he was fine, but his stardom didn't really last that long. Don Money there, he was a good player for the Brewers, went to the All-Star game a couple of times. Good infielder and a good hitter, Don Money. Always liked him. We got, what is this? Wilbur Wood. Very nice, Wilbur Wood. Neat to see that. Wilbur Wood was an ace for the White Sox in the early 70s. Wilbur Wood was so good that he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's how good of a pitcher he was. He was like the ace of the American League for a couple of years there. And then I had a long career in the majors, honestly, but he just never really could regain his form. I don't know if he got an injury or what happened, but just didn't work out for him. And that goes in that stack, actually. We got Expos here. Andre Dawson once again. This one, different format. I think this is a rookie flashback card. The other one we had was an award winner. And then, whoa, look at this one. Disco era dandies, and that is Johnny Bench there. That is a wild card. Man, check that out. You can't really tell that's Johnny Bench. That could be anybody in a catcher's uniform there, but that is a sweet looking card. I'm going to have to wolf layer that one. I don't remember if we got a Disco era dandies card out of the first half of this box. That card just looks very different from any that I remember us getting, but I'll have to check back through the cards in the box and find out. Nice Fred Lynn card here as well. This is a regular base card of Fred Lynn, great player from the 70s, no question about it. Randy Jones, who was an ace for the Padres. I'm trying to remember. I think his best year, I believe, was like 76 maybe, something like that. Randy Jones had a 20-game season. I think he may have even won the Cy Young in the National League 1 year in the 70s, and then he never really regained his form either. He had been pitching for a while and then had that great year, and then that seemed to be it for him. Here's another great pitcher from the Padres, Gaylord Perry. He was the Cy Young winner in 1978, it looks like there. So pretty cool to see that. I think that is Gaylord's lone Cy Young, though he played in the league for like 25 years or something, but that was his lone Cy Young. Thurman Munson there, decade dateline. Of course, Thurman Munson tragically died in a small plane crash. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was piloting the plane, and he was the Yankees team captain, a guy who would certainly have gotten into the Hall of Fame if he had lived to see out the rest of his career. He was a real star at the time, consistent all-star catcher. Sad story about him. And there's Reggie Jackson, his teammate on the Yankees, but here Reggie is in the A's uniform, and that is one I will certainly keep as well. This one's commemorating the gigantic home run he hit in the All-Star game, and I think that was in 71, if I'm not mistaken, and it was at Tiger Stadium. Jackson hit one that went onto the upper concourse roof of Tiger Stadium, and it was just unbelievable. Like, you could never imagine that somebody could hit a home run up there. I'm sure that if you type that in to YouTube, you'll be able to see the highlight of him hitting that. It was just a remarkable home run. Of course, Reggie hit a lot of huge home runs in his career. Rollie Fingers here again. I think this is I think it maybe is a repeat of a card we pulled earlier in this rip. Tug McGraw, I know that one is a repeat for sure. And then here it is. It is Willie Randolph, game-used bat there of the great second baseman for the Yankees. Went to the World Series with them, was a team captain for them. So not a Hall of Famer, but still a pretty nice Yankees relic there for Willie Randolph. I'll set that one up back here. And then we got Lou Brock, decade dateline for Lou Brock, who set the single-season stolen base record back in the 70s. I think that was 74, maybe? I'm trying to remember when that was. Yeah, 1974. So pretty cool to see that. Still 2 packs left. This one is our penultimate pack, so we'll see if we can get something cool out of here. We've gotten a few foil inserts, but not as many as I would like. Maybe we'll get some more out of these last 2 packs. Big John Mayberry, power-hitting first baseman for the Blue Jays, a real star for them. One of their first stars as a franchise. John Mayberry, really good player, really good power hitter. Johnny Bench there, nice card of that. Maybe, certainly one of the all-time great catchers and maybe even the best, but Johnny Bench, certainly great catcher. Steve Garvey there, and behind him we've got another award winners card, and it is an Oriole, so that's pretty sweet. Nice Eddie Murray award winners card. I like that one. He was, of course, the Rookie of the Year in 1977, had a great season for the Orioles, and went to the All-Star game, and they put him in the outfield. Eddie Murray, of course, a first baseman and a designated hitter later in his career, but went into the All-Star game, and I believe it was Billy Martin was the manager for the All-Star game that year, and wanted just to get the rookie in the game, so put him in the outfield for an inning. Dave Kingman there, speaking of monster home runs, boy, Dave Kingman could hit some huge home runs as well. Always like to see him get up to the plate because you never knew just how far he was going to be able to hit that ball. Come to our last pack now. Let's see what we've got here in our final pack. Louis Aparicio with the glasses on, signing a program for a fan. It's a pretty neat photo of Louis Aparicio. I don't remember ever seeing him wear glasses on a baseball card, so that's kind of neat to see that. With the Red Sox, I would have liked to see him in an Orioles uniform rather than the Sox. Of course, he played for the Chicago White Sox as well, and I think that is what team he chose on his plaque for the Hall of Fame. Don Baylor here playing for the Angels. He also played for the Orioles in the 1970s. Prior to that, that was the team he came up with. Don Baylor, great hitter, power hitter, and a hitter for average. Don Baylor was a really a good star, reliable guy, certainly, to make the All-Star game. Another Dave Kingman here, and that is a younger Dave Kingman back during his time with the Mets. Like to see that one. He was a power hitter his whole career, just a really great home run hitter. And here we got Bert Blyleven. We haven't seen this player in this rip, and that is his rookie flashback card. Pretty cool to see that. And award winners, Joe Morgan, of course, the MVP for the National League, 1975, big year for Cincinnati Reds fans. And that is a pretty cool card as well. So there you go. Our relic was Willie Randolph, second baseman for the Yankees. And we definitely pulled some stuff that I will be adding to the PC. Really nice to get some of these Orioles cards, a Reggie card that I'm pretty pumped about. And, of course, that Brooks, that is a real winner for me. So very happy to get those. If you saw a player who is like one of your favorites or one of your special, all-time great roster or something like that, let me know. I'm always happy to send you guys cards. And these are pretty unusual cards that you just don't see very often. Hope you enjoyed seeing these today. I'll be back tomorrow with Dorking with Dice. We do it every Friday on the channel. It's always a good time. Lots of vintage baseball packs available to us to open on tomorrow's show, and I hope that you will join me, and hopefully the pack opening machine will join us as well. I'll see you back here then, and as always, happy collecting.